Welcome to Easy Math TV. We're going to be using Excel or any spreadsheet really for solving problems involving monthly payments when there's a monthly payment made on something. And today's example involves a loan situation or a credit situation where you're trying to pay off a debt. And there's one additional thing that we've added to our spreadsheet from our previous time. These are all things that we had typed in before. I haven't changed them at all. The only thing that we've added here is the total of all of our payments, because we may be interested to know what the total of all of our payments was in certain situations. So in order to calculate that, it's literally just going to equal whatever your regular payment is, which we're going to copy from F4. When we get it, we're going to put it in there. So it's equal to F4 times the number of payments that we make, which is D4. So D4 is always going to be the total number of payments, and F4 is always going to be whatever that payment is. So when you take those two numbers and multiply them, you get the total of all of your payments, okay? So that's in cell E7. Again, that's equals F4 times D4, and hit enter. And everything else is exactly the way we left it before. We're not going to mess with anything. So again, it's just a question of interpreting the problem and knowing precisely what to put in to our sheet up here in row 4. So the question is, you have $2,000 on a credit card that charges an annual interest rate of 23%. So you want to pay that off, and we're going to try to pay it off in 3 years, assuming no additional fees or card usage. So we've kind of stopped using that card. What do you need to pay each month? So that's the first thing we're going to answer. The second question is, what is the total of all the payments made? And then the third question is, how much total interest did we pay? So those are the 3 parts to this question. So here's how we need to set that up if we don't want to have to mess with any of our formulas again. So interest rate is 23%. That's in cell A4. That's pretty straightforward. The time in years is 3 years. That's pretty straightforward as well. The number of payments per year is 12 because we're paying each month, so that's pretty straightforward. These two we leave alone. Regular payment, we're solving for that, so we leave that blank for now. And the present value, so the present value needs to be negative 2,000. And the reason for that is because the present value needs to be a value that's less than our future value at all times. Like present value is basically earning interest. You want to think of it as earning interest in order to get to a point where your future value is reached. So also you can think of it as the fact that you owe $2,000. So you are $2,000 in debt. So our present value is negative 2,000. That needs to go in cell G4. Our future value then is 0. And as long as we have all those numbers entered correctly, everything else down here will fall in line. And as you can see, there's our regular payment. Our regular payment is going to be $77.42. So I can go ahead and type that. Right there, that's my answer to the first part of the question. Right there. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that up in cell F4. So let's put our 77.42 there and see what happens. Interesting. So that causes our present value calculation to be it's almost perfect. The present value calculation is 2000.01, so we're off by 1 penny, which is fine. And our future value is 0.03, so instead of a future value of 0, we're at 0.03, so it's off by like 3 cents. That can be just a calculation error, but so that's fine. That's fine that you see that. And the total of all the payments, there it is. There's our F4 times D4. So we can answer that here. So even though we owed $2,000, we ended up paying $2,787.12 for whatever items those were that we had charged on the account. And then the total interest is right there in the I column. Oh, that's interesting. Interest is in the I column. And even though it's a negative number, that's okay. It is 787.12. So it was interest that was charged against you instead of interest that that benefited you. It was interest that was charged against you. So that's kind of why it's negative. There's other reasons, but let's just go with that one. But that is the correct number, 787.12. So those are all of our answers. And please like, subscribe, comment down below if you're enjoying these videos and if they're helping you. There's more to come. So enjoy your day.